All right, we are getting set up here. Welcome to my live stream if you're on this early. Yes. All right, gonna record a couple little clips here for the full video. Start with these cameras. Today we're going to put the Thingino open source firmware on a Wansview G6 bulb camera. Hey guys, it's Josh with the WL Tech Blog. Today we're going to take one of these nice bulb cameras from Wansview and we're going to get it set up with the Thingino open source firmware. So we're going to do this guide so you can follow along, and I've built an installer that's ready to go. Make this process pretty easy. This is not quite as easy as some of the other cameras, but let's go ahead and get started. There we go. That was supposed to be a slightly different side. Nothing. This. Nope. That one. Messing with my cameras real quick. Change and change. And there we go. All right, so today I have a 2-pack of the G6, and I bought these because it had been a while since I bought my original Wansview G6, and I thought maybe they had gone the same direction they went with most of their other devices that had this processor and upgraded it to the T23. This one has not, and so now I have too many. I do have the 5 gigahertz version. These are the 2.4 gigahertz versions. And the boards are almost identical. The only difference is actually the radio that they used for the Wi-Fi. So this process is exactly the same. If you buy the dual band version that says 5 gigahertz supported, just make sure you use that firmware file. That's the only thing that's different throughout this process. So let's go ahead and crack this guy open. Here we have two brand new Wansview G6 cameras. We are going to need this guy. Powering it up. These cameras are designed to go into a light bulb socket, and they give you this adapter in case you don't have one, which is good because I don't have one. Toss that on the ground. Now, the process for doing this actually does require that you do a little bit of disassembly. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And for this type of camera, what I like to do, if you see right here, there's this seam in the plastic, and what I like to do is just give it a squeeze from behind. That opens up a little bit of gap here. Once you have that little bit of gap, we'll use a little screwdriver You put a little pressure and pop the top off. Grab flathead. By the way, these little screwdrivers I bought for $1.50 at Dollar General. They're not great, which is why I have a second set, but they do the job. So let's get in here. Get a little squeeze, we get a little bit of a gap there. Push in the screwdriver. Pry. All right, got that loose. Now we can see to the inside of the camera. Now, unfortunately, you cannot do this process without taking it a little bit farther apart. So we're going to go ahead and continue. You need a Phillips screwdriver. Now, the first thing we're going to do is this screw right here, which is holding in the tilt motor. Out. And now the rest of the camera will separate. Go ahead and leave all of these things connected. They're not actually in the way. However, this motor is. So if there are these two screws, we'll just out. Use a little adhesive there to make it a little tougher to get the initial loose. Slides out, goes off to the side. Right, now let me bring this a little bit closer and I'm going to show you the tip that we are interested in. Right here is the flash chip, and I'm going to be doing the short trick for take pin 5 and pin 6, 2, and count them down. You start at the dot on the tip, count down counterclockwise. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What we're essentially going to be doing for the short trick, taking a little screwdriver, going between the pins, just rotating it with just enough pressure that it makes contact on both sides. So the next thing we need to do is get our SD card prepared. Now I have an image already created for this that you can download from the Thingino on Brick repository, which I'll have a link to down below. And that will allow you to use any SD card writing software in order to write your SD card with the ready to go image. So what I'm going to do real quick is build that up myself. Will only take a moment. I did not prepare my SD card before I started streaming. Probably should have. Ooh. Now I have in the repo, I have an image for the G6 and another image for G6 dual band. They're not interchangeable. You do need to make sure that you got the correct image. And this one is not the dual band. This one is the 2.4. And I'm just going to write this image to my SD card. This image will work on an SD card above like 16 megabytes. So there's no real requirement for size there. And typo. All right, and in Windows, you can use something like Rufus or Raspberry Pi Imager. On macOS, you can use something like Valencia Etcher. Those are all really good programs for writing images to devices. Now, we will be talking about the giveaway a little farther along in the process once we get this card written. I vote on it, so I have to write again. Where while this is preparing, I'll do a little segment here on what Thingino is. If you're not familiar with the Thingino open source firmware project, it is a project that writes a third-party firmware for many of these IP cameras from brands including Wyze, Wansview, and others. We have a full list of supported cameras on the website at thingino.com. And as I mentioned, it is fully open source. We do all of our development on GitHub, and all of our primary interaction is done on Discord. So you are welcome to get involved if you are interested. And our card is written. Go ahead and pop it out of the laptop and into our camera. Last thing I'm going to need is a power outlet. So let me grab my cord. All right, now we have our power outlet. We have our SD card written and inserted. Put our adapter onto our camera here. Now, between here and here is AC power. There is a converter that takes it from 110 volt AC and converts it to 5 volt DC. So from here, this is pretty safe. This is where any kind of electrical danger would be. So what I will do, I mentioned take or driver or anything else metal that we go through, put it between pins 5 and 6, put just a little bit of pressure there. Plug it in. We're going to wait about 1.5 seconds, and we're going to remove the driver. Here we go. Plug and remove. Now, if I got the timing right, this will take about 1 minute or 2 minutes, and then the motors will start to move. While we wait for that, go ahead and get our phone ready here. Bring up the Wi-Fi list. After a successful flash, we will see a Thingino provisioning network. I think I got it since nothing has moved yet. Like we're going the right direction. For to click, that's the IR cut. There's the motor sweep. think we got it on the first try. Wait to see that Wi-Fi network, which should show up right away. It is. Now, selecting the network on most devices will automatically take you to the Wi-Fi config portal. And on this, you can enter your root password, then your wireless network name. This is a 2.4 gigahertz device, so only 2.4 gigahertz networks are compatible. And make sure to remember that the SSID and password are both case sensitive. So we've got those done. We'll go ahead and save credentials, hit proceed. I'm going to write everything to the camera and it's going to reboot. Now we'll go ahead and we'll let it get booted up. We'll wait until the motors have done their sweeps. Then we're going to pull the power. We're going to piece it back together. The IR cut click. Motor. Finish this. Pull the power. Now the reassembly process. First thing that you want to do is take your tilt motor and it goes in with these low. Flip it right in that gap. These two screws with the washer heads on them. Those. Go ahead and we're going to pop out the SD card before we assemble farther. Come on now. All right, for the actual camera head, the round part pops in and then that lays flat. Our long Phillips screw. Driver's help. And go ahead and drive that one down. And then the last thing is the cap. Go ahead and tuck cable inside. Get it more or less where it belongs. Squeeze. Right. There we go. Good reassuring pop. All right, let's go ahead and plug her back in. Boot up. Now, while we're waiting on that, let's talk about this giveaway. So, having just bought 2 more of these cameras and living in an environment where I don't have any of these light bulb sockets, I find myself having a few extras. So what I would like to do is give one away to a lucky viewer. Now, here's how you can win. First off, you need to be a subscriber of the channel in order to qualify. Second, what I'd like for you to do is submit an idea for a video that you would like to see done on the channel. I'd like everybody else and folks who have submitted ideas to go through and upvote those that they like. At the end of this video and the eventual edited full version that'll be put up later today or tomorrow, I'm going to give those about 10 days. Then I'll go through and I will take the highest upvoted idea and I will contact that person. They will get one of these cameras already flashed with Thingino, it'll actually be this specific camera right here, and I will send it to them free of charge. So I look forward to seeing your ideas. They do not have to be Thingino related or camera related. Anything that is electronics, AI, programming, anything else that we might cover on this channel is fair game. So I definitely look forward to those submissions. Now here we have our camera. It still has the film on it. I'm going to go ahead and leave the film on it since this one will eventually go to a subscriber. Now I want to know its IP address. So we're going to fold it up. We're going to pop the cover open. We're going to tap the button and it's going to read its IP address out loud. Well, it did not read its IP address out loud. What are you trying to tell me? I don't think it was ready. We may be having technical difficulties. I have my config portal again. Put that all back together. Maybe I wasn't fast enough. That seems unlikely. Okay, proceed. Gotta love live events. Fortunately, I can edit these out when we go to the real video. If you're watching the replay of the live stream, hopefully you enjoy this part. Should have ability here in a second. Flap, there we
go. Address is 192.16.80.12.
All right, so now I have its IP address. Go ahead and pull it up in a browser. I already forgot what the IP was. Two, three. Okay. All right, so here we have the login prompt, our top secret password. Go ahead and flip the video. Aim the camera a little bit by full screen. Full screen does not work great. But here you can see live. All right. Let's see. I do have a little bit in the chat here. Go ahead and put the ideas as comments in the video, which will become available, I think, right after I end the live stream. So your ideas are good, but being in chat, they don't count. All right, and speaking of, after I finish the live stream, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Pop our camera loose and change our view. As far as the RTSP settings for Frigate for Thingino, I don't have Frigate set up yet. So that video I think would be a little ways in the future. I'm going to be doing some videos on integration, but I'm not there yet. Need to get this to switch properly. Green. There we go. All right, so down in the video description, you will find the links to these cameras as well as to the installer repo. Actually, this one will be in the Thingino Unbrick repo, but I'll make a note in both places so you can definitely get the right image. Now, as far as the Thingino project goes, if you are interested in the project, or if you're interested in electronics hacking, open source, things like that, definitely check out our Discord, which will be down in the video description. And what else do we want to plug down there? For sure, there are other cameras that we have that work well with this project. Check out the rest of the videos on the channel for some links to those. I've got videos for installation on quite a few devices. And I think that's about it. Definitely give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Hit subscribe if you want to see the next one. Make sure you are subscribed if you want to participate in the giveaway. And the winners for that will be announced. Let me see what day it is today. It is the 28th. Let's say the winners for that will be announced on the 10th of February, 2025. So that gives you about 12 or 13 days from when this video was recorded. So hopefully we'll see you in the next video. And until then, stay fresh, cheese bags. All right, that will wrap up the recording for the full video. And folks who are on the live stream, thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you next time.